Well, the province, of course, has mandated changes when it comes to carding. And so what the Toronto Police Services Board would like to see is it become a spot conversation, is how they described it. Not surprisingly, critics say that won't work.
The importance of education, and I think the educational piece is something that is very big. I think it's something that's very necessary.
Police Chief Mark Saunders addressing the board about the hot button issue tonight. Now, the board was given a report from the University of Toronto that essentially says the negatives outweigh the positives when it comes to street stops.
It has continued to be justified as something that is helpful for community, but ultimately we're finding that the impacts that it has on the level of trust, transparency, confidence in the very police services we're supposed to be relying on, simply not there.
Lawyer Anthony Morgan, who is fighting these street stops, says this report reinforces their call for the police to scrap the procedure where officers take personal information from people they stop. The people are free to not say anything and walk away if they choose to.
Under no circumstance have I ever said that I support the random stopping and questioning and gathering of information of anybody. That is not effective policing, and that is nothing that is not a thing that we've ever practiced or condoned as a procedure in our policy.
Police say they will take some of the recommendations, and Chief Saunders says they are improving the system.
What we have done is we've created one of the highest watermarks in Ontario, where we have an independent panel of a judge, of the chair, and of a member of the public to review every quarterly the times that we have been in those types of interactions.
The new provincial rule on carding came into effect this year, but it only stops police from arbitrarily collecting information.
I think what needs to happen now when we're talking about carding is that data, that information that came from the report, it should be used to look at what we can do to further engage community in a process to eliminate what essentially amounts to, from what I hear in community, what they would call plantation policing.
Now, Morgan also tied in the decrease in arrests in the recent rising number of hate crimes to a fear he says certain groups have of interacting with police. Now, Chief Saunders says he has a problem with that, and he wants anyone who is being victimized to know that the police are there to help.